Welcome to Focus in the Noise. Let's talk real conversations, real experiences, no shortcuts. Hey, you're watching Focus in the Noise. I'm Ed. Today I want to talk to you about water, the damages, the causes, and what you can do to prevent your house from becoming a construction zone. The last few weeks, we have done a lot of mitigation work. What is mitigation work? That is ripping out sheetrock. That is putting down fans, dehumidifiers, HEPA filters, ripping out carpet, you name it. We've seen a lot of water damage in our plumbing division this month. One was a shower that failed at the bottom. The liner, when the builder put the shower in, put it behind the block seat, and the water got behind there. And unfortunately, when the young lady took her shower, she came downstairs and heard drip, drop, looked up, and there's the ceiling wet. Flash forward 15 minutes, there went the ceiling. Ran over there at, 6 o'clock at night, and basically had to cut off the water, had to go find out what the problem was, and get started on getting it dry. The rule of thumb is you need to immediately, not in a few minutes, get that water turned off. If you don't know how to turn off your water in your home, you need to highly educate yourself today. There typically is a black box at the end of the road at your house. What happens if you live in a multi-family home, like a condo or townhome? You might have 3 or 4 right there. If you have to call your water district to come out and identify your shutoff valve, you need to do that. It only takes seconds, minutes to flood a house or take a small problem and really go further. So finding out, importantly, where to turn that water off in an emergency is huge. From a plumber, from a mitigator, it's solid advice. If I can stop the bleeding as fast as possible, I can worry about the wet sheetrock. And don't get me wrong, guys, it's heart sickening to look at your house. You know, sheetrock is just gypsum board. It's materials. It can be fixed. The least you have to fix, the better. So the way we do that, and especially for insurance claims, they're going to want you to see, or they're going to want to see you doing your best to get the problem solved. So, not sure if you know what those little valves are under your toilet, under your sink. Those are angle stops, or I call them emergency shutoff valves. We had an instance this weekend where the toilet overflowed the ceiling. Not a major deal, but when we went to go turn off, or when the lady went to go turn off her angle stop, it snapped in her hand. That water sprayed for 15 minutes straight out, right into the sheetrock, right into the ceiling below. I've been drying that home for 4 days with 2 dehumidifiers and about 15 fans. It's a lot of damage. And she did the right thing. She tried to get that water turned off at the unit, or the source, which this in case was the sink and the toilet. That didn't work, so they had to run outside, find that black box. There's a bolt, not a bolt, but it's a little angle pattern where you grab a hold of the wrench, you turn it sideways. Going straight is flow, sideways is off. And just get in there and turn that off. If you can go out there and test it 1 or 2 times and make sure that you can do that. Also, that's where your city meter is. And sometimes you open that box and it's soaking wet, full of water. And then you end up having a leak there, and you need to have that water company come out and replace that. And did you also know that that's usually something that they cover? If it's on your side from the meter to your house, that's on you. But if it's to the meter to your house, that's on them, and they'll replace that free of charge. So make sure you're out there testing that safety fail so that you can turn off that water. It doesn't take much sheetrock is a sponge. It'll soak up 4 feet before you even know it. All of you that participated or were devastated by Hurricane Harvey, you know all too well. Our home was ripped up 4 feet. It doesn't take much for only just a little bit of water. It doesn't take much. But on a 40-gallon water heater, where are they in Houston? They're in the attic. So doing that maintenance, getting those flushed, and gosh, I could talk till I'm blue in the face to customers, and I have, and I will continue. If it's rusty and it's 10 years, it's a water bomb. It's going to explode, and 40 gallons of water, folks, is inches. And if it's on the 3rd floor, on the 2nd floor, it's inches on the bottom floor. So imagine the path and the damage. it can run across a 2x4 and get wet way over there. You don't want that. Water can do just as much damage as fire, smoke, tornado winds, whatever. I mean, it's devastating. And your personal materials, you deserve better. You deserve better. I can tell you the 3 folks that I've dealt with just in mitigation this week it's been one of the most stressful times in their lives. Their house is literally coming apart at the joints. And, to have construction folks in there and fans going and blowing and it's a lot of stress dealing with insurance. Did you know also that if you have a rusty pipe and it busts, a lot of times your insurance is not going to pay for that rusty pipe or to repipe your house or to plumbing fix. They're going to pay for the damage that was caused by it. So logging those things, you got to get a professional to do that. We got to log the times. We got to take moisture readings. We got to dry that house out. I've got a meter that I can demonstrate later. You poke it right into the wall and it shows the moisture level. When it starts beeping and it says 54%, that's got to come out. You're not going to dry that. Sometimes carpet can be pulled back and you replace the padding, but you got to get that padding off, especially just on a wood subfloor on a second floor. It's just going to soak right through the sheetrock. Your best bet is to cut everything you can around it to where it's dry. Just get that out of there so it doesn't absorb somewhere else. Get your animals out. There's a lot of sanding dust. There's a lot of particles going on. When we're mitigating, we try to put plastic down, and I also bring a HEPA filter, which is about that wide and electronic, and it continues to soak in and suck in the debris. But if you don't have that, you're going to get wet. You're going to get dirty. Overalls, coveralls, whatever you can to cover your clothes, and most importantly, safety glasses and mask. That stuff goes in your lungs. It gets in your eyes. It's ridiculous. A lot of the stuff, though, can be prevented. I will tell you that your home probably has somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 to 20 of those angle stops, 2 per sink, hot and cold. You have them at your laundry. You have them at every toilet. Go there and see if you can give it a quarter turn. And make sure it's turn offable. Is that a word? Turn offable? You got to turn off that water if in the case of an emergency. If that hose busts and you reach for it and it's gone, it's like having the life jacket under the seat, but guess what? It's not there. And the faster you get out and turn off the water, the better you are. But what if you're gone? What if you're sleeping? It only takes just a few minutes to really make life difficult. So preventative maintenance on plumbing, you hear it all the time. In air conditioning, we do it every day. We do HVAC maintenance. I try to talk folks into let me flush that water heater. It's a couple $100, guys. What's a couple $100 on preventative versus tens of thousands of dollars on reactive? If reactive problems, you're going to have a stressful life. If you can prevent problems, you're money ahead. So saving that couple bucks on not changing those angle stops. Here's another great thing. I'm going to go on Amazon or I'm going to go to Home Depot and I see that they're 45 cents. They're $2 or $10. But you don't want to pay a repairman to go out, turn off that water, and put those fittings on correct in the correct space and the correct materials. That drives me nuts. Like, quit bitching about how much the little part is, and understand that what you're paying for is that contractor that knows what he's doing and he's liable. That's the biggest part. I put an angle stop on your house and it blows off. That's on me. That's not on you. So do it yourself can really get you into trouble. And I'm not here to knock on anybody that does it themselves. Great. You can save yourself some money. You're not saving anything when you got a man in there with 15 sheets of sheetrock or your deductible's $5,000. Does $2,000, $1,500, $1,200 sound bad? Yeah, it sure does. It beats the hell out of $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of damage, and you're on the hook for most of it, the deductible or all the deductible, and not to mention the pain and suffering and the loss of materials and goods. Guys, plumbing maintenance, learn how to turn off that water. It's kind of like knowing where the fire extinguisher is. You may never need to use it, but thank God it's there when you do. I appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next one.